Who was Robin Westman? The shooter who took the lives of 2 innocent children, injuring 18 other people. 15 of those were children, 2 still in critical condition, and then cowardly took her own life. This was at the Annunciation Catholic School shooting that occurred 2 days ago. I have background information on her. She wanted notoriety. I'm doing one video on her. That's all she's getting. But I'm doing it because it's important that we know that there were signs, there were red flags. And it's really important that when there are red flags, they need to be addressed. This country's in a mental health crisis, and this could have been prevented. You may want to save this video if you don't have time to watch it right now. There's going to be a lot of information. I'm going to share everything the police found, the red flags, and who this individual was. It all ties in together. Now, Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara came out in another press conference and shared the following pieces of information. Officials found about 120 shell casings from 3 different guns that the shooter used. 116 rifle rounds recovered, 3 shotgun rounds, and a live bullet trapped in the handgun after it apparently jammed in the chamber. Now, through police warrants, the police were able to recover a significant amount of evidence that they have collected from 3 different residences. The mother's house, the father's house, and they didn't say the third location, so I don't know if Robin had like an apartment. However, the shooter left behind hundreds of pages of writings describing her plan, writings that described her mental state, and all of the hate and discrimination that she experienced. Police Chief O'Hara said the shooter had a fascination with mass shootings. He said it was clear that the shooter's actions were to obtain notoriety. The shooter had an obsession with the idea of killing children. Now, according to Joseph Thompson, who is the acting U.S. attorney for Minnesota, Thompson said in a news conference that he won't dignify the shooter's words by repeating them, but they are horrific and vile, and in short, the shooter wanted to see children suffer. Now, originally, the shooter tried to get into the church through the doors, but it's school policy that all the doors are locked, and that definitely saved lives. So the shooter had to go through the windows. Now, the police found a lot of journals. This girl was all over social media with anti-Semitic and racist messages and language, threats against Trump, transgender flags with slogans defend equality. However, there were a lot of homophobic slurs as well. She had no criminal record, and she had no history of state-ordered mental health treatment. However, the police have been called to her home before. In 2016, the police responded to a report of a criminal offense that occurred at her home. Everything in the police report was redacted. That case was closed, so we don't know exactly what that criminal offense was. In 2018, the police were called again to the home to do a welfare check on Robin. That entire police report is heavily redacted, and all that says in that police report is mental health. Also, when she was a teenager, she was suspended for talking about mass shootings to classmates. She had a huge fascination in school shootings. There's no information as to whether or not she received any mental health treatment or counseling as a result of all of these things. But those are huge red flags. Huge. Okay, her mother, Mary Grace Westman, she worked at the school where the school shooting took place. She retired in 2021. She worked there as a secretary for 5 years. Everybody seemed to love her. Robin, the shooter, was a former student at the school as well. Now, Robin, she was 23 years old. She died from a self-inflicted gun wound, as you know. And when she was 17, that is when she legally changed her name to Robin from Robert Westman. And she had her parents' permission. They had to sign off on that. The only thing that is mentioned about her father is that his name is James Westman, and he owned his own home. So it looks as though the parents were divorced. There were 3 different residences searched. So there you have it. Now, Robin's uncle is former Kentucky state lawmaker Bob Hellingringer. And he said in a phone call that he barely knew her. Last time he saw her was at a family wedding. So he really didn't have much to say. Now, this is the letter that she left behind for her family and friends, where she discusses her depression, her suicidal ideation that she experienced for years. I'll put it at the end of the video so that you can screenshot those pages and read it for yourself. But, you know, again, my heart goes out to all of the victims and the families and friends and community. This is just such a horrific tragedy, but I really feel like it could have been prevented. I will keep you updated on this case and all current events. Please like, follow, and share so that I can continue to provide you with content. And I really do appreciate you being here.